For your second spreadsheet assignment, you have been hired as the band manager for a band based out of Kenton, Ohio. As part of your duties, you'll be planning out the concert tour for the summer of 2016. So this summer, you'll be planning out how much it's going to cost you and what dates and where you're going for your concert tour. The directions are as follows. You'll need to come up with a name for your band, and at the top of the schedule page, there's a box for the band name. Then you'll come up with your tour name. And for both of those, you can go online and look at examples of other ones. Come up with something that you like, and come up with a tour name for your band. Now, you'll need to select up to 12 locations for your concerts. Be sure to plan enough for days to be set up. Your first concert will be in Columbus, Ohio. If you look at your schedule, I've already got your first concert date. It's in Columbus, Ohio on June 4th. Why is it on June 4th when the tour starts on May 31st? Because when you plan out your concert dates, there are several facts that you need to be aware of. This is a big one. It takes 3 days for the band to set up in a new location. So you need to be at where you're going for your next concert 3 days before the concert date. Your other issue is you can only travel about 400 miles per day. So as you're working through your schedule of where you're going for your concerts, you're not going to want to go from like Columbus, Ohio to Los Angeles to New York City, because you are not going to be able to make the band get to LA and then New York City quick enough to do your concerts unless you give a couple weeks in between, and that's just going to raise your fuel costs a lot because you're going to be traveling all over the place. So select at least 12 locations for your concerts, and be sure to plan enough days to set up and enough travel time. Once you have your location set up, you can plan your travel dates. So down under travel dates, our first one I've already set up. We start May 31st. We drive from Kenton, Ohio to Columbus to set up for our June 4th concert. So then we're going to come up with our next location, and we'll have our travel dates in there to get there in time to set up for that concert. Once the travel dates are set up, then you can go to the budget spreadsheet and put in the locations for each concert, where you're going from and to. So your second concert, say it's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're going to travel from Columbus to Pittsburgh. And we're going to use Google Maps for our distance calculations. Now, in Google Maps, if we just type in a location, we can do that. So let's go to Columbus, Ohio. And once we're there, see the directions link? I can click on that. I can put Columbus, Ohio at the top because that's where we're traveling from. And then our to is going to be Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it's 185 miles. So I'd put 185 miles in here. And then I need to calculate these costs. These costs are based on several facts. We have to account for 3 buses. The bus gets 8 miles per gallon, and fuel is $1.89 per gallon. So you're going to need to figure out what the formula is to calculate that out based on that number of miles. So your formula, remember all formulas start with an equal, is going to involve the fact that it gets 8 miles to the gallon and fuel's $1.89 per gallon, and how many buses we'd need to take which is 3, and how many miles. So you'll need to figure that out, and then once you figure that out, you can do a drag down, and as long as you're pulling in the cell for the numbers, that'll work. You'll need to do the same thing with the tractor trailer fuel costs. Knowing that a tractor trailer gets 4 miles per gallon, we're still using diesel fuel, so it's the same price. And we use 4 tractor trailers to travel with the band. Once we have these two, then we can figure out our total fuel costs. And then we can figure out our total fuel costs here. You'll be using a formula to add up different things and multiply different things for these, and this will use that sum function that you've used before for the gradebook. Next, we need to figure out how many band members, support crew, and miscellaneous crew we're working with, and I've got that information back here, so you can use that to plug into your budget. And then you need to calculate out the days. Under the schedule, that's where you can figure out the days. And I will give you a little hint. Your start and end dates, you can subtract those. So this could be a function, a formula, subtracting this from this to get the total days of the tour. Once you have the total cost for fuel, the total cost for food, then you should be able to calculate out the total costs for our tour here. Now there's going to be tons of other incidentals that we're not going to cover. We're just going to worry about food and fuel.